WNEP proudly presents the premier outdoor show in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, your window to the great outdoors. Tonight on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life.
We'll travel along with the trout as they hit the road towards a new home. And we'll put them in a local stream as the state continues to stock trout for the opening day of the season.
The trout are stocked. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. I'm Ken Hunter and I'm standing in front of our Higbee Stream map of Pennsylvania, given to us by Vivid Publishing out of Montoursville. This map has every stream in the state of Pennsylvania, no matter how big or no matter how small. Now, Jake, you're standing in front of another map. In fact, we're going to be giving this map away later in the program.
Yes, we will.
And this is different, though.
This framed map now includes, if you take a really good look here, now includes a lot of the highways here in Pennsylvania to help you find exactly what streams run along what highways. Now, I had to ask the question, Ken, what does it really take to get a trout from the hatchery to the stream? Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to answer for you. Ed Marcinko is the manager of the Tylersville Trout Hatchery. He asked us along to drive with Ron Buckeye, one of the truck drivers.
The truck driver will get his paperwork. He sees where he's going. He gets in his truck, he inspects it, comes over to the elevators, or to the brood section. He'll go up and pick up all the brood, hand load the brood on. The brood and the percenters and the golden, they get hand loaded on, hand counted, because you only got so many. Right? They're the bigger ones. You guys got players? Yeah. Okay. And you'll drive around and pull in under the elevator, whatever species he needs, that's the elevator he gets in under, and they start weighing the fish on.
Okay, dump that in. Just lift up on the handle. Oh, just leave it hang there. Hook it on that right there. Now pick up on that ball. Now 48 off the 62 leaves you 14 pounds. Yep.
And once their truck's loaded and checked, they hit the road.
They hit the road and they're going.
We're ready to go. Let's do it.
We'll be going up to Mahoopany Creek and we're going to be meeting at Forkston. We've got about 2,400 fish on and we should be getting there somewhere around 12:30.
How long of a ride do we expect here?
Probably about 3.5 hours. Along the way I have to stop periodically and check the fish, make sure they're doing okay, make sure everything's going okay, and there's a little bit of time for in case you do run into traffic or do have any sort of problems along the way.
And if all goes well, at 12:30 we're pulling into Forkston.
Right.
This is one of a couple stops that you'll make along the way?
Yeah. Those look at them. It depends how crowded they are. If they're up towards the top and they're getting a little listless, then need to either fit them down in some other tanks if I can. Check out the aerator to make sure it's going.
They look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah. Now, if they were just laying in there, there'd be a little bit of a problem somewhere that I'd have to find.
They all look pretty good to me.
Yep, they're in good shape. We're ready to go.
Another round, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, round 2, right?
Yep.
Okay.
If the fish were a little stressed or a little sick because it was malfunctioning, then I'd turn the oxygen back up on and give them a boost of oxygen to straighten them out. Hoping don't run into a lot of traffic, any traffic jams, accidents along the way. Just hope everything goes smooth. Life support for the fish works, don't have any problems with them. The fish don't get sick, and I get myself, the truck, and the fish there in good condition. Get out here and check the fish, make sure that they're doing fine.
They're still splashing around pretty good.
That's a good sign when they splash.
What do we have drive-wise? About another hour?
Pretty close to that.
Yep. They look good too, right?
Yes.
So that's it. Back in the truck and we're out of here?
Right.
That was it? All right, let's go.
One of the good things about stalking fish is I get to see a good deal of the state, a lot of the state forest, a lot of the streams, some of the really picturesque parts of the state. I used to keep a journal when I first started, the places I wanted to go back and visit fish, but the list just got too long, and I realized that I'd never be able to see all the places again that I wanted to go back to and hike and fish. This should be the last check. We should be there in about 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll give them one final check, make sure everything's good to go.
What would be the farthest you would transport fish in this? With a couple of hours? Or more than 2 hours, 3 hours? Is there a limit, or would you be able to take these for another couple hours yet?
Well, these would be able to take them for another few hours.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Okay, everything looks pretty good.
Ready to go again?
Yep.
Here we are. About 100 miles?
A little over 100. A little over 100 miles to get here.
Ron, thanks for letting us come along here.
You're welcome.
We'll help you unload it now.
Good.
We'll help you stop.
We'll need to help.
All right.
We'll need to help.
Well, thank you, Ed, and especially thank Ron. I mean, Ron actually let us go with him from the Tylersville hatchery, basically the whole quarter of the state of Pennsylvania up to
That's a
Mahoopany.
long haul, Jake.
And I'll tell you, he checked the fish right along, and now we knew at that point that the trout were ready for stocking.
Well, you know, that's a very unique opportunity to ride along with the Fish Commission. I enjoyed that and never saw that done before. But when we come back from the break, we're going to go stock those fish in the water. Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Well, obviously, we're closing in on trout season, Jake. It's only a couple weeks away.
Yep.
Those trout look good and healthy. They're ready to go, but now what happens next?
Well, that's the funny thing, is that it has become a show. It has become something of a tradition. The white truck shows up, people show up, and the trout get stocked. Let's head back to the Mahoopany Creek, where Waterways Conservation Officer Joe Russell is going to organize the stocking.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Joe Russell. I'm the new district officer for Wyoming County. I've got all of Wyoming County, 3 townships in Susquehanna and 2 in Lackawanna. This is only my second stocking for this county so far. I'm taking over for Larry, who's gone into the office as the assistant regional manager. Thank you all for coming out today. Only thing I'm asking is stay safe. Stay out of the roadway, please. Larry tells me this entire stocking is going to be along 87. I know you guys have done it before, so I'm probably preaching to the choir, but just stay out of the roadway if you could. This is the north branch of the Mahoopany Creek. right along 87, State Route 87.
They look good and healthy. They made that trip nice. Want to just flip them out here?
Excuse me, sir.
Yep.
We just want drivers to be aware that we are starting our stockings now across the state. It's not just in this area, it's statewide. And drivers need to pay a little bit extra attention. If they see our vehicles or they see a line of vehicles in the white truck, they need to slow down, because some of these people might, kids enjoy the stocking as well. They might step out from between vehicles, and we just don't want an accident. We just want to keep everybody safe. The kids love it when they can dump a whole 10-gallon pail of fish in and watch them swim off. They eat it right up.
Oh, are you going to get the top off to see the fish?
Yeah, we're going to take the top off and dump them in the water, all right?
And I'm going to see the fish?
Yes. Help me, right?
What kind of fish are in there?
Trout.
Trout.
Oh, what the fish?
Are they big trout?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we don't want to get wet, do we?
No, he's not going to get wet.
Okay.
Grandpa. Grandpa, here, man.
That's going to get in the water?
Nope. Grandpa got you right here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You watch all the nice fish going in the water.
And I can see them?
Yep, you can see them.
Wow.
There they are. Look at them all.
Can you see them?
Wow. Okay. They're a nice big trout. I got to put them in.
Go ahead, give him a hand.
Hold on there. Oh, there they go. Look at them. They're going right in. They're going. Yeah. Oh, there they go.
Hey,
Look at that trout.
slap me 5, man. Nice job on the trout. There they go. Bye, trout.
Right trout. There they are. See them swimming in there?
Something like we've just stocked today here. Brown water a little bit higher than normal. Is that good for stocking?
It's not bad. You want to be safe, or make sure that your stockers are safe, on the rocks and stuff along the stream's edge. Definitely don't want anybody falling in, but this is nice because it'll spread the fish out. First thing they teach them in the hatchery is how to swim, so they'll swim to the holes and stuff. The brown water doesn't really bother them that much. If there's a lot of mud in the water, that might bother them, a siltation problem, but this here is just normal runoff, and it shouldn't be a problem at all. They're going to swim around and spread out. The trout have been really nice. We were given an advisory that the trout are good this year. The PCV levels is no different than any other fish caught in the Commonwealth. It's just the same fish consumption advisory as any other fish, so there's no problem with any of the trout.
We're good to go.
Yeah, we're also getting some of our trout this year from North Carolina. The people that have gotten them from North Carolina already, the other officers are saying that they're getting super loads. They're getting big fish. They've been really pleased with the fish that they're getting so far. We'll be supplementing the fishing or the fish as the season goes along. I stock personally right up through May, so we'll be stocking right along. Season opens up April 17th, 8 o'clock in the morning. Proof trout waters right now are closed. You're not allowed to fish any of this water right now. But April 17th we'll be out here, and guys will start fishing it.
That actual event of trout stocking is happening hundreds and hundreds of times throughout the next couple of weeks and right through the summer on the in-season stocking. I think that it has become a tradition in the state of Pennsylvania.
Boy, it sure is. And I particularly enjoyed the little fella there that was going, the excitement. Oh. He was just thrilled,
I'm
wasn't
stocking trout, he says.
That was a good fight.
Oh, my hand was sore after that.
It must have hurt. Well, listen, we're going to go to a break now. Don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to look at some great knot tying tips.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Ken, you know as well as I do, whether you're going for bass or walleyes or trout, muskie, doesn't matter. You need to know some knots. You need to know how to get one thing tied to another. Let's go to field staff member Bob Hawkins for his field tip of the week.
For any of the fishermen out there, whether you're fly fishing or bait fishing, I'd like to show you a surgeon's knot for tying line to line. In the case of fly fishing, that may mean tying on a tippet, or for bait fishing, tying a lighter leader onto your existing line that's on your pole. What we're going to do, as you can see in this case, I have both 8-pound and 4-pound. I'm going to overlap those two lines, let's say 6 to 7 inches, hold them together, and at this point I'm going to treat them as if they're one line, and I'm going to make a loop and tie one overhand knot, like so, pulling both the line and the tag on the leader side through the loop. Now I won't pull that loop tight because one thing I need to do at this point is take the tag on both the leader and the line and pull that through by itself one more time. There's the leader side. I'll do the same thing here on the line side. Once I've done that, I'm going to hold both the line and the tags and pull them tight together. At that point, I would take my nail clippers, trim back my tags on both leader and line, like so, as close as I can to that knot. And there's my surgeon's knot. I'm Bob Hawkins, and that's your field tip for the week.
Good tip there, Bob. And of course, anything you can do to help land a trophy and do it the right way is the right thing to do.
A lot of fish are lost because the knot was improperly tied. That's a good knot to know. Well, listen, we're going to go now to the great photos you folks have been sending us. Let's take a look.
We open this week's edition of Pennsylvania People and Places with the Maslers of Dixon City. Mark Masler on the left and his son Matt Masler on the right are seen here with the 6-pointer Matt shot on the opening day of the deer season. He was hunting in Susquehanna County. The two saw 5 more legal bucks before the season ended, but Father Mark was unable to get a shot.
13-year-old Jesse Hauser of Lewisburg is seen here with his first deer. Jesse dropped this doe, get this, with a 980-yard shot with a .416 .338 long-range rifle. Jesse also won the 2003 Junior Shooter of the Year at the Pennsylvania 1,000-Yard Club in Williamsport. Congratulations, Jesse.
Absolutely. Bob Urban of Dunmore is seen here with the 8-point buck that he harvested on his farm in Pleasant Mount during the fall archery season. Bob tells us he passed up 6 other bucks until the big one showed up. In the end, this buck sported a 20-inch spread.
Here's another nice 8-pointer. Earl Startzel of Tamaqua shot this 8-point buck on the opening day of deer season. Earl was hunting on Wildcat Mountain near Tamaqua when this memorable moment happened. Nice going, Earl.
And Pete Kurdeski of Shavertown harvested this 9-point buck on the first day of the rifle season. He was in Wyoming County. Pete's buck, aged at 5.5 years old, sported a 24-inch spread, and get this, weighed in 170 pounds.
And the big buck pictures keep rolling in. Ron Douglas of Dixon City shot this 8-pointer on the opening day of deer season. Ron's buck also came from Wyoming County.
Okay, from beautiful bucks to tremendous trout. Katie Simpson of Exeter landed this 21-inch rainbow trout while fishing in the south branch of the Tunkhannock Creek during last year's opening day of the season. Katie's rainbow weighed 4 pounds.
Russ Cobb of Susquehanna is seen here with one of the rabbits he shot while hunting in Susquehanna County. Russ's dog Lady flushes pheasants as well as rabbits. He tells us he shot 9 pheasants in front of Lady this year. Not bad for a beagle.
And our next photo comes to us from Frank Zuba of Hazelton. Frank pulled his 20.5-inch rainbow trout through the ice of Lake Irina in Hazel Township back in February. This whopper weighed in at 6 pounds. Congratulations, Frank.
Our final photo for this evening comes to us from Sal and Cynthia Latina of Holly. This covered bridge in Woodledge Village reminds us just how beautiful winter is in Pennsylvania. Hopefully, though, this is the last time we have to see snow until next winter. Well, again, we want to thank all you folks for those great photos. Now remember, trout season's coming up in just a couple of weeks. Take the camera along. Today's cameras are small enough, Jake, they can fit them into a pocket. Take it along, get some good pictures. Jake, we're going to give this map away here very shortly. This is the Higbee string map, loaded with all kinds of information. The new one now has roads and streams. I have the old one with just the streams on it. These are put out by Vivid Publishing out of Montoursville, Pennsylvania, which is in my backyard.
And let's give that away. Of course, we have to remind you that we'll be doing more and more about trout season as they come up and the turkey season and the whole bit. Let me grab the winner here for you, Ken. You could certainly read it if you choose to.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Okay, and one quick reminder, next week on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, a whole show dedicated to steelhead fishing at Lake Erie. We took the show on the road, plus trout stuff you can use.
Well, our lucky winner is Dale Lynn of Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania.
Congratulations, Dale. We'll be talking to you about how we're going to get this map to you. Have a great week for everybody here at WNEP's Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. We wish you the very best in the great outdoors.
So long.
Pennsylvania Outdoor Life is a local presentation of WNEP TV. We're proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Brown trout.